Hello and welcome back to another episode of Cincai Bro Show.
Yes,
I am Kevin and this is Adam.
as usual.
And in fact, I was about to say this week, for the foreseeable future, we are gonna talk more about Malaysian movies. Like we actually just talked about it. Like we've been watching a bit more like Malaysian movies, and in the all runtime of like 30 minutes, it doesn't do like the movies that we watch any justice. So yeah.
Yeah, so what we're going to do today is that we are still going to talk about some of the Malaysian movies. So what is selection again? We're going to talk about Sepet, talk about Cicakman, and what's your third pick?
Highland Tower.
Highland Towers. So we're going to talk about these three, and then in the upcoming episodes, we are going to talk about the new Malaysian movie that is out by Kuman Pictures, and it's called Roh, or Soul in English.
Yes.
Do stay tuned for that next week. And today we're going to talk about Yasmin Ahmad's and Malaysia's beloved Sepet. So Sepet. So where to start with Sepet really?
Ooh, where do we start from Sepet? Well, it's the movie that came out a year before Cicakman. That's one.
That's one.
That's one thing. But jokes aside, like this movie, it's still relevant. Even though it came out 2005, it's still relevant today. Because this movie shows like a what's it called? Interracial? Interracial relationship, yes, between a Malay girl and a Chinese boy. And that's still a thing. That's still a thing today. It's kind of taboo, would you say? You know, some people frown upon.
I say that some people still do frown upon oh yeah, you know what, like a Malay guy dating a Chinese girl or vice versa, you know, or you can mix in so basically interracial love. It feels pretty forbidden at one point, you know. It feels a bit weird to some people, you know, especially in areas, in the more rural areas where it's just secluded to just one race. Dating someone from another race also feels this feels very weird. So I think Sepet was one of the more important movies to come out and to really put light to it, you know. So I think what Sepet really does to deliver messages of how they handle poverty, how they handle poverty, gangsterism as well, and most importantly is the interracial love story, you know, that happens between Orchid and Jason. So thoughts on Sepet. So how is it? How do you feel towards it now?
Like right now, I think I do. I do it. I still love for what it is. It feels very Malaysian. That's the one thing that I point out. It feels very Malaysian. The characters go to Pasar Tanis. It's they go to Pasar Tanis. They go to Orchid was she just finished SPM, right, in the movie. Yeah, it just feels it feels very close to home, you know, because this is these are the things that I went through. Went through living it as a Malaysian, and all these conflicts are very very close to home. It just feels it feels like watching your home come to life in a fictional setting. Yeah, it feels really good.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I guess you have a very close resonance with this movie.
Yeah. It feels like a really warm, you know, in a way, even though the story it's drama, but it feels like this is home. You know?
I mean, drama still can feel like home in some ways, but but it has a pretty tragic story to begin with, you know, for Sepet. So I think I really respect it for what it does. Really, I think bringing up all this stuff, but I still think generally as a movie, I think it's generally okay. You know, in my opinion, I think the notes that they wanted to read, I think it's for sure. I mean, the standard isn't that high, but I think this is definitely well regarded as one of the most important and if not one of the better Malaysian movies that came out.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't really think of it so highly. Besides it showing some light to like the interracial
Yeah.
relationships kind of thing. Yeah. Other than that, I feel like in its storytelling, the way how they delivered like some lines and all, some of the themes even. Like it felt really really like out of a script and not from like a segment from real life. And so yeah, so that's my nitpick on it. And you know, but I think it also, I think how they deliver like exposition, to how the characters delivered exposition to tell its story, to like really to drive its story. I felt like some of them some of them felt a bit forced at stuff, and then like some characters they use as plot devices, clearly plot devices. So like yeah, but really I think besides that, like I was really like kind of bothered by like how they had to do like really like say out all the themes all the time. But I really think the whole ending of like, you know, the whole sequence where Orchid's on call, where Orchid is like calling Jason, and she doesn't like, yeah. So that part wrecks me. That is, I think like yeah, Sharifa Armani, she like probably gives out like one of the best Malaysian performances I've seen. And yeah, I think that's a pretty, it's a really typical choice, you know, for her to be like, for that role, that character to be like, oh, you know, it's one of the better roles. So yeah, because like, you know, everyone is like everyone in her family is like very bohemian, you know. They're very bohemian. They're very open to stuff, you know. They're very open to stuff. Yeah, you know what? Like they even showed scenes of, you know, like like an old Malay dad just like dancing with his wife, and then suddenly he comes like with his underwear, and then like it's cut out. It was cut out in the theatrical release, and then they managed to bring it back in somehow. But you know, I think it's really just like moments like that. I think it really adds, you know.
That makes it more real.
Yeah, it makes it more real. Besides the whole expositional stuff, when in terms of how Yasmin Ahmad delivers her themes, I think other than that, I think the movie just really succeeds. Really, it was. Rewatching it again, I was really quite surprised at like how much of the characters they felt like, oh, you know, I've seen this person before, you know.
Yeah.
So that part, I was really like quite happy. That part, I really feel represented. Yeah, I really feel represented, and like, you know, I see these people in my life before. So like it feels very good. You know, yeah. No nitpicks from you? No, really? Am I only?
I think I do agree with like sometimes they just feel like, I think when the Orchid's character, she goes on rants, it feels like it's very scripted.
Yeah.
Like when she goes on, it's like I think where she argued with her best friend's boyfriend. That one, I think I agree. That part is like,
Yeah,
there's an example of like, it feels very scripted. It's like she goes on, it's like, oh, it's like, you think you speak English, you think like you're like an American, but what?
Yeah.
It's-
Like the slang. I mean, like I don't know, like the whole slang and the accent was like, okay, obviously the slang was there, but you know, it doesn't feel. It feels like it's acted, you know. I feel like it's acted. But it was just really that one scene that was really like bugging me, you know. But I still do feel like, you know, the whole like gangster subplot with Jason, that one I was kind of underwhelmed a bit, but it also like sort of intertwines with the whole story, you know, because Jason he actually like goes out with this girl before he actually, yeah, he goes out with this other girl like while he's going out with Orchid, or right before he goes out with Orchid. And then he feels like, you know, he feels much more attached to Orchid. Then like Orchid finds out about this stuff, and then you know, she sort of like leaves him, you know. She ignores him. Then Jason tries to do as much as he can just to like get back to her, but yeah, she rejects it. And I thought, yeah, you know what, like I would do that if I found out like my partner just like got pregnant by someone else.
Yeah.
Or like impregnated someone else, you know.
Of course you'd be upset. Yeah.
Definitely. So
Yeah.
yeah. So definitely, I think it was really that third act that really like brought it together, and then yeah, and even like how this. Oh, okay. Also another scene, another like character that I also didn't really like, wasn't really like fond of, was like was Jason's like good friend. He was the guy like, okay, like you could tell like his stuff. I mean, you know, I mean, like to be honest, some of the acting was a bit off, but you know, some of it, like the way how like it was said, it's like, oh, you know what, bro, and he's like that, bro, you know, it's fine, and then he goes on to like say like a whole like academic essay of like stuff. Then I was like, really? So I felt very weird about that, hearing like the way how he delivered his lines. It sounds like what an American say, but only in a Malaysian slang. You know, so it doesn't really go well with it. You know, so that's why I felt like, yeah. So like what was going on over here? You know, that's how I feel towards like Sepet. You know, even though like I still do regard it as like one of the better Malaysian films for sure. But yeah, just like these small nitpicks, you know. And some parts was a bit too slow. That's it.
So, but overall, you find that like this is a good film.
Yeah, I find it like it's okay to good. You know, I've never really like considered.
It's not like up there. Yeah.
In terms of general films in general, yeah, it's definitely not up there. But in terms of like Malaysian films, it's one of the better ones. So I say it's like the top like 10% of movies that I've seen from Malaysian movies. I mean, I haven't seen like every single damn Malaysian movie, but the ones I've seen, they're all on the lower spectrum of my ratings, really. Yeah. I mean, there's really not. I can only count like very few of them with my fingers, that which ones are really like, oh, they're genuinely good. You know, it's not like okay or whatever. It's like genuinely good. You know. Somewhat decent. So yeah. So yeah, that's me for Sepet.
Yep. Okay. So this is Sepet came out 2005. Now let's jump 1 year ahead. 2006, Cicakman came out.
Yeah, my childhood movie, guys.
I didn't see it when I was.
I have seen it when I was a kid, but I've only watched it once, and I thought, what the hell was going on?
It's like a fever dream. Actually, it does feel like a fever dream. I'm not sure what really happened in it.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened in that either. Like, dude, okay, like literally, like the whole plot is really just Spider-Man. It's really just like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, but they just like twisted some stuff.
No, it's not like Sam Raimi Spider-Man. He doesn't even have an actual like villain. I mean, there is a villain with Dr. Clone.
Yeah.
But he doesn't play like a role like how Green Goblin does.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, because like that, then again, and that really like shows like, you know, like how Green Goblin, you know, he's he's directly like, you know, he is Harry's father, he's Peter's best friend's dad. So that's why there's like, oh shit, there's quite the connection to it, and he feels bad, and you know, he's a scientist he really looks up to. But in Cicakman,
you don't get any of that.
I mean, it's Cicakman, I guess it's just okay, but what the hell do you expect going into Cicakman, really?
I know it's gonna be like campy and stuff like that, but not this campy, man.
Okay, but this campy, like let me ask you, is this campy like, is it like so campy? Is too campy is bad, or is it camp, just done very bad?
I don't know. It's like everything about it is like the way how the set design looks. The set design is like, it's ugly. The way how the cinematography works, it's like, so doesn't work. The editing is like kind of like choppy sometimes, but it's just kind of, it's like, it just doesn't stick well with me. Oh my god, this is a chicha. It didn't stick well with me.
Oh god.
It wasn't unintentional.
We're doing chicak humor now, guys.
But I want to say that the few things that kind of surprised me, the movie is surprisingly relevant. You don't know why? Apparently in the movie, there's a pandemic happening.
Yes.
There's a pandemic happening in the movie. I was watching, hey, wait a minute. This 2006 movie.
Yep, guys, please add Cicakman to your COVID-19 watch list.
Yes. And then, so yeah, it's like they have like a pandemic and stuff like that. And then apparently Dr. Clone, there's a conspiracy saying that the main villain, Dr. Clone, created this virus so he can sell the vaccine.
Yeah, it sounds so typical, honestly.
Actually, that conspiracy is like, yeah. I'm not saying that conspiracy is real, but the people who half this conspiracy is real. It's a real thing.
Yeah, I know, but okay.
And the movie is also weirdly like, it tries to be like dystopian, but it tries to be dystopian. Because like in the beginning of the movie, like the main character is like listening on the radio. It's like, oh, remember to renew. This is translated. Remember to renew your license to have a phone. Your license to have a toilet or something like that. And apparently, like if I remember correctly, my mom has told me like back in the day, like in the 80s or 90s, like you actually have to have a license to ride a bike. You need a license to own a TV or a radio. And so I think that's like carry over from the past. It's like, and then the writers actually like included that in Cicakman.
Yeah.
Okay. But they don't really build on that idea. It's like it's like just to show you, it's like, oh, it's like everything now is like it's like very capitalist like, sorry, and then even at one point it says that, oh, when you want to cross the road, you have to pay money too. And then later in the film, it actually shows that. But the weird thing is that it doesn't really work, because it's like, to cross the road, right, you have to put in coins.
Oh my God, yeah.
How do you regulate that? How, like, why not just have like a scanner, like a huge scanner, it's like cross, like beep, okay, you've been charged like 1 ringgit. It's like, no, they cannot. It's like,
QR code, right? Am I right?
yeah, QR code. Like, I mean, like, okay, QR codes are not that big at that time, but even like when the characters want to have to work at their office, like it's like that, like Dr. Clone's like office. It's like they work like there's some pharmaceutical company. They use ID cards, but because this is the future, why not use like a human scanner and scan your face and something like that? So like when they scan the card, it's like a tiny screen. It's like, oh, let's say it's you. It's like you scan your card. It's like, inilah, selamat datang Raja Adam.
Yeah.
Right. But why do you need an ID card for that? Because it becomes a plot point later. The main character steals someone's ID card, you know. It's like, it's not safe. It's like, it's not safe and stuff like that. It's just like, these are nitpicks. These are nitpicks. I'm just like, there's many things that I can pick on, but you know what? I'll go on one more. Okay, do you remember the scene where Daredevil,
whoa.
when I think about Cicakman, because I think about the suit, I think about the old, you know, the Ben Affleck Daredevil.
Suit, right?
No, the Ben Affleck Daredevil. He kind of looks like that. Cicakman kind of looks like that. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I mean, Cicakman.
Okay.
So Cicakman, he has to fight his. At one point, his evil clone appears. You know, wearing a black suit and everything.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Do you remember what the clone Cicakman is like?
Okay, not really that part. No, but I do remember like the original Cicakman.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that guy.
So at one point, like they managed to clone like Cicakman, make an evil version of him, and they fight. And the really weird thing, right, like in this like Malay-centric movie where most of the characters are like Malay and stuff like that, this clone Cicakman starts speaking Cantonese.
I do not remember that.
Yeah, he starts speaking Cantonese. And why does a clone of Cicakman start speaking Cantonese? And it's such a weird thing. And apparently, if I'm correct, because when I was watching the credits, one of the stuntmen is Chinese. So I'm guessing that that's why he can speak Cantonese, because the stuntman is a Chinese guy. So it's like a really weird thing to like include. I guess it's funny, you know.
No, I don't think it's funny at all, because like you said already, like, you know, they bring this whole Malay-centric thing.
Yeah.
And then what for like a clone of Cicakman to a Cicakman, like a Malay guy, and then his clone is a Chinese guy who like speaks Cantonese. Is he very robotic?
No, it's like just like anyone speaking Cantonese.
And then like this guy is the villain. He's like one of the villains, right?
Yeah, he's like
he has to fight.
the clone Cicakman is like, 你有没有搞错啊? It's like, you know. he just went like that. He's like kicking Cicakman, like, 有没有搞错啊? And it's like,
okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. I did not know it was Cantonese. Okay,
yeah, it was Cantonese.
Yeah, last time I watched it, I was like 7, guys. Okay,
yeah,
so,
I watched it like Monday,
Yeah,
a few days
so
ago.
I'm just trying to recollect from my memory, because like I do remember like some things from Cicakman. I remember I was very weirded out as a kid. And if you're weirded out by movies as a kid already, this is gonna be some weird shit like coming to you when you see it as an adult. So yeah, and okay, no, but I feel like that gives the wrong idea. You know,
Yeah.
people like to come out like for a clone to like come out as a villain, and he's the only like Chinese character in the movie, right? If I
Like someone that I think is like a Chinese character that plays a role in the film, you know, that plays like I actually
okay, but all the characters are all Malays.
yeah. But the thing is like you can argue like that's Cicakman's clone. But I guess in the sense that he starts speaking Cantonese, like it's implied that the clone is Chinese, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, and like seen as the villain, so that also gives the damn wrong idea, really. So it's like, oh, you know, like really like movies are political in this sense also. You know, anything they put is political. So like whether the world they were in, you know, like you know the post-dystopia kind of thing, and have all these like rules, you know, regulations, these very weird regulations they have. Then now they're adding, and then now they're trying to like, now they try to bring on like to see as the Chinese, his clone as a Chinese guy, and is also a villain in a very Malay-centric movie. I think like, you know, I feel like it doesn't do it any light, you know, on the Chinese people. I'm pretty sure they'd be damn mad.
The thing is like it's like a very small like section, like it's like it's like a tail end of the movie. It just comes out of nowhere.
I know, but
Yeah.
but still, it feels rude. It feels wrong. Yeah, to like really like put light on, you know, like, especially since like, you know, like all three races like help build this country together. Then yeah, really I think it's not good, dude. Okay, yeah, but okay, moving on from the clone Cicakman. Like what else about Cicakman?
Overall, the story is like, I guess it's like a parody of like superhero movies.
Okay, but it's intentionally.
It just doesn't work for me, you know, like the whole film. I don't know, like I've been speaking to people like who have watched it as a kid. It's like, oh, it's like I remember it's pretty funny, but then they say it's like, oh, that's like when I watched it as a kid.
Yeah,
And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not my kind of humor and stuff like that, the way how the film works. But there's just a lot of things that it's just kind of like wrong. It just feels wrong. Like there's even a part where Cicakman like it's like because he's apparently like turning into a lizard. It's like there's a plot point where because like, oh yeah, the way how he got his powers was when a cicak climbs into his coffee and he drinks it and it's like, oh, it's like it tastes weird. Oh, this is the best coffee I've ever drank. It's like, and because of that, he's like apparently slowly becoming a lizard, and then he changes his diet from like eating normal food to eating insects.
Cicakman.
Cicakman, that's Cicakman to you. I mean, like we know like there's people out in the world who actually eat insects, but this guy eats it raw.
Hell
He
yeah.
has it in his jar and he just like eat it. I think in fact he can just like one time he's like he wants to show his friend that he's Cicakman. Like there's a fly like flying. He's like he just extends his tongue like.
Yes, Toad.
Like Toad. I mean Toad is a disgusting character in X-Men, but I would take Toad over Cicakman any day.
This guy.
Would you okay, would you agree?
No comment.
All right.
No comment. Really? Oh god. I can't believe we're talking about Cicakman and Toad and thinking about which one's more disgusting. They're both disgusting.
Yeah, they're both disgusting.
Let's just keep it at that. They're both disgusting.
And then like the movie, okay, like comedies are dramas. Like in essence, it's like it's just a different way to do a drama. But I feel like the movie just flip flops like really hard.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they really want to be funny. The next moment they want to be like very dramatic. Like especially the ending scene, because like his best friend died and his best friend's actually kind of in love with Cicakman's love interest.
Yeah. Okay. I do remember that part.
And so the ending scene is just like Cicakman like it's like I don't want to be Cicakman anymore. It's like because I am not the true hero. And it's like he's like walking in the rain and stuff like that. And then it's like a close up of his face, and then it's like raining inside. Then suddenly it turns into a split screen with the girl also. So it's like they're kind of like conversing, but through thought bubbles. It's a weird thing. It's like it's all like monologue thought bubbles is like, it's like the girl says like, oh, this is all your fault. It's like Cicakman's a true hero. Then because it's a split screen, then it's like oh it's like saya adalah Cicakman, tapi saya tidak boleh beritahu dia. It's like what the heck? It's like they try to be dramatic, but it doesn't work. It doesn't.
Oh God. Please tell me they played some rock Jiwang song at the end.
I think so. Yes.
Oh God, yeah. See?
I think it did.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, there are times where the Cicakman is like a music. Oh wait, no, I confused it with Hantu Kat Lima. Sorry, different movie. Hantu Kat Lima breaks into a song sometimes.
Hell yeah, we love some horror musicals, right? I'm just kidding. I've never seen one.
Okay, so I think before we wrap up, I think let's talk about the last movie that we're gonna talk about.
I've not watched it. Just so you guys know.
The movie is the Highland Tower movie. It's called Highland Tower. It's like a found footage horror movie.
How's it?
In short, it also didn't work for me. Another one that didn't work for me. I can just go like kind of like beat by beat. Like it's just like this guy and his friend, like he films like he's basically like a ghost hunter, and he wants to film like documentaries. So one day he just decided he has a bright idea to like, okay, let's go to like Highland Tower instead of film documentary.
Bright idea, huh? Not a very dark
I think
space.
like this whole premise is like, it's interesting, but they didn't execute it good enough.
Okay.
Like the first half is like I felt like I was spooked. I was kind of spooked, like because they're going through like dark corridors and stuff like that. Because I live in an apartment myself. Sometimes when I wake up at night, it's like it's like I have like a hallway.
Corridor.
Yeah, I have like corridors. It's like and I just like I'm not going to go to the toilet anymore. I just wait until the morning. Okay.
Shit in your bed, right?
No. Okay, so like it does have like tension in some sense, but the first like 10-20 minutes, it's just kind of them like goofing around, like setting up the crew. They even go to the office of the actual production company of the movie.
Really?
Yeah, MIG company, and then they go there to pitch the film, the documentary, and then the producer himself makes a cameo. And then the characters in the movie make fun of the producer.
But that sound like kind of like fun in that sense.
Yeah, they try to make it like that, kind of like a gang. But what sells like horror movies is like the creature, the ghost. You know, it's like
Okay.
there's none of that.
What is that?
There's none of that. And the ghost, just like the two female characters in the crew, they just got rustled. They get
possessed.
They get possessed.
You know what, like the typical Malay horror story for women, you know. So
Yeah.
Okay, that will be another topic that I will be talking about soon.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Like they just get possessed and that's it. They don't feel that threatening. They don't do much. Like, what's the point of to have like a ghost that doesn't hurt you? You know, it doesn't feel like hurt. It's like, I guess it's like maybe they're trying to set like a creepy vibe, but it doesn't work that well. And they just kind of like smile. When they get haunted, they just kind of like creepy smile at the camera. It's just like, okay. And then like one point, like one of them just like runs out into the woods screaming. And then also then they decide to call an ustad to like exorcise them, you know? And that's it. And then the end of the movie, apparently the twist is like the main guy who started this, he gets possessed himself.
Oh,
Wow.
How original, right? Okay. No, but I mean, you know, okay, like, I think some of the horror stories I've seen, they don't really sell, like, at least the recent ones I've seen, they don't really sell on the ghost itself, you know. They center more like on your main character, you know.
Yeah.
So like, you know, ghost is a side thing, but what's more important is like how the main character like drives him or herself, you know, throughout the story,
Yeah.
you know. Sometimes like some movies like Carrie or like The Shining, you know, the protagonist, the person you follow, is the one that goes insane.
Yeah.
And the one that makes it interesting as well, but sometimes when people are trying to solve these possessions, all this, or even like seeing someone getting possessed or something, I think it's really there's definitely like some family dynamic or like a friend to friend relationship that they have, you know. So I think like really at the heart of horror films is really like the drama that goes within your characters, and then the horror is an add-on element to it, you know. But then so let's say a recent one would be a very recent one, but which actually started out as a drama, but then they turned into a horror movie, was Hereditary. So Hereditary it's really just about the family. Like they're all breaking down like crazy, but then I think what really I think like it being in the horror genre really like elevates it. You know?
Yes.
It really elevates like their whole like trauma. Like so in Hereditary, like the matriarch of the family just like she passes away, so like the family just has to go through that. So they grieve for her. They feel kind of traumatized by her. They feel traumatized by it, and then like some of them they're not close to the grandma. So like so some of them were some of them were pretty happy that the grandma passed away. So like it was really like it's really an interesting like turn for me, really. And even like in also another one is the psychological horror stuff, so like how an event like drives the whole character into the story and how that character goes insane or whatever. So I think horror stories, they don't really have to rely on the ghost. So they have to rely on how the character deals with it, so like the ghost is just an external, it's just like a visible conflict. It's just like a visible conflict of what we have inside ourselves, and that's like the heart that's like the heart of horror stories. Okay, I think that's like one of the most interesting things I've said in a podcast.
Wait, I want to add to that. It's like there's no drama. Like there's no like nothing changes for the characters in like Highland Tower. Like the only thing that I remember the most is like the main character is like the guy. He just wants to get everything on camera, He gets upset at his camera crew. It's like, why do you guys didn't check for berries? It's like, we just missed a really good shot for like this thing, this, that. It's like, he's just really obsessed with it, but there's no like personal drama. It's like, the film is very stagnant, like no one changes and stuff like that.
Yeah, no one changes. Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah, but would you say is like more of an obsession piece, like someone who's like really really obsessed and then like tries to go crazy? Would you say something like that or nah?
No, it's just I mean, it's kind of hinted. Like I think there were times where like there was a blackout and then one of the ladies is like just disappears and then they find her like kind of like shaken. Then afterwards she gets possessed, but that's it. It's like there's no like gradual like turn into insanity or gradual turn into possession.
I think that's the whole shock value of stuff, Yeah, and then it's also not a cheap way, but I don't know, like things have to be done differently. Because I think I've pretty much like seen that in horror movies already. So like
I think maybe they could have done better as a short film because the movie is actually hour 10.
Oh, so they really like try to push it for feature film just so you can make money. Yeah. I'm not even surprised.
But the movie is like, you can I watched it on Netflix, but you can actually find the full movie on YouTube, posted by the producer himself.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and he also posts like several other movies or so, which is kind of, I don't know. I guess he wants to distribute it that way.
Just catering to every Malaysian out there, So
yeah. Be like a free content, right? Am I right?
Yeah, hell yeah. iFlix and all. iFlix, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, really. I think, so I think, is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, and then I think, we're definitely going to talk more about Malaysian movies. So next week, hopefully we both get to catch Roh this weekend. And another Malaysian horror story, which generally I was really, really impressed by the trailer.
I haven't seen anything about that. I want to go in like blind.
Yeah, so it's good to go in blind, but like some of the stuff you've seen, I'm just like, that looks really, really impressive. Like some of the stuff, like, okay, I'm worried it might be another typical horror story, which is what I'm very, very worried about. But, from what like Command Pictures like market themselves as, they really go for like the Blumhouse Pictures feel, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I think everyone has said this already.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go for the Blumhouse Pictures feel, and you know they do low budget horror movies and they try to sell it to the public. Yeah. And then okay. Also another thing I want to add on, what's really interesting is that Command Pictures, because they distributed their first movie last year, which was on Two Sisters, and then this year with Roh. So what they do is that if you don't like the movie that they distribute, you can ask for a refund.
Yep. That's
If
pretty
you-
cool.
Yeah. I can't wait to not like Roh. Then you get my refund, you know. Yeah. So but what do you think of this tactic? Do you think it's just used for like just to sell stuff? Sell the movie?
I would say it's like a hidden like marketing tactic, in a way, because it gets people talking. There's like, oh, look at this, like kind of like who does this, you know? Who does this? And it also it's kind of like good for like the customer. It's like if you don't like it, refund. Like where do you get the refund a movie ticket? You never get the chance to, but Command Pictures is offering you the chance. It's like it's also to show that they want to make a good film. They really care. They really do care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they put money out of the picture.
Yeah. Put money. Because I think it's their policy. It's like they don't want to earn like a profit. They want to make films. They want to get the money to just like make the next film, next film.
Yeah,
something.
but that's if a lot of the money doesn't get refunded. So
Yeah,
like they're really known for their low budget stuff. So like now the budget for this is like 300,000 ringgit,
Oh.
if I'm not mistaken.
300,000.
Yeah, 300,000 ringgit. So we'll see. We'll really see how that fares, you know. So like yeah, I'm gonna see it soon. You're also gonna see it soon. Yeah, and we will talk about that in the next episode on Cincai Bro Show.
All right,
So,
go watch Row, people.
Yes, and hopefully, I really hope this turns out good because I did watch the director's short film.
Yeah, Split Gate.
Split Ringgit. So like it's a pretty like interesting concept that they use. But you know, I think this one, we'll see how it goes. And it's also a very short horror movie. It's like 82 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
All right.
So this is the end of the show. We hope you enjoyed it. I was Kevin. This was Adam. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye bye.